It is with a heavy heart that I share with you that 16-year-old Colin Brown has died after being shot by a stray bullet on Interstate 55 Saturday night. He died earlier this afternoon. Colin's family has asked that I relay a message to the community about his passing. His family has expressed their deep appreciation for law enforcement, the hockey community, and those who loved Colin. They are asking for privacy at this time. Colin, a beloved and talented hockey player, passed away, but not before giving the ultimate gift of life. Earlier today, Colin's organs were donated to other patients who are in desperate need. This donation is an example of the type of young man Colin was and the kind of family that he grew up in. Their steadfast commitment to serve the people around them should inspire us all. Our homicide detectives have been working around the clock to ensure that justice is served in Colin's name. Since Monday, we have received numerous tips that homicide detectives are following up on. I can confirm that we have received new video since our last update on Monday. We're not sure what's on the video just yet, but our homicide detectives are analyzing that video very closely. We cannot stress how important it is for residents who live along Interstate 55 in the Loughborough area to review their security cameras. Please go back to last Saturday between 10:30 and 10:45 or 10:40 p.m. Review your surveillance video, and if you see anything on that video that might be suspicious, doesn't look right, please call our homicide division at 314-444-5371. St. Louisans are stepping up. They are already going back, looking at their video. We know that. We are asking the people who may not have heard that message yet, please go back, review that home surveillance video so we can try and bring justice to this innocent 16-year-old person. We are also asking anyone who is driving on Interstate 55 in the Loughborough area to call our homicide division if they saw anything suspicious that night. Again, Saturday, between 10:30 and 10:40. Interstate 55, the Loughborough area. Anything that you may have seen that may help our detectives out could assist in this investigation. I want to reiterate how no tip or piece of information is too small. Somebody may be driving and say, well, I thought I saw this or I may have heard this, but they probably already know. Please don't assume that. We need everything right now, and we don't know right now what little piece of information may help crack this case. That is the prepared update that I have for you today, and our homicide detectives are working and speaking closely with the family.
Do you have any more information of what exactly happened on that highway on Saturday night?
We know that Colin was hit by a stray bullet.
But the evidence you guys collected can't further to see if there was a rolling gun battle, or was it among two drivers, or are you looking at a suspect or suspects?
I don't have anything that would indicate right now whether there was one or multiple guns. It's something that the crime lab will continue to analyze. As we get some of those updates, we'll try and determine what information homicide detectives are comfortable releasing.
You have this call to action for drivers, but do you have any leads already with drivers who are on I-55 or in that Loughborough area already?
I would say that it's safe to say that we have received tips. We know that there is new video that we did not have Monday that we have now that the detectives are reviewing.
Is there anything you can review the video yet, but do you know, is this a dash cam video? Is this Ring doorbell video or security video from somewhere off the interstate perhaps?
I'm comfortable sharing that it's new video that we did not have Monday, but we have now.
As far as the investigation goes, I mean, are the feds involved with this because it happened on the interstate? How does that work?
There are multiple agencies involved in the investigation. When something like this happens, everybody will come together to assist and help and make sure that as a law enforcement community, we send a very strong message to whoever did this, that this type of disregard for human life will not be tolerated in this city or this region.
Is there any general description of what the video appears to have captured that you can provide? Was this a video after the incidents of a potential suspect vehicle, or description, or was it the video itself of the shooting?
The detectives are working to review the video now. I'm not, the last update I have was that we were in the process of reviewing that. That was a couple hours ago. I don't know what is on the video. We know that it is new video. We don't know the quality of that video yet, but we know it's new. We know that we didn't have it on Monday, but we have it today, and it's time to start reviewing it.
Mitch, a follow-up real quick. I asked you, are the feds helping with this investigation, yes or no?
I know there's multiple agencies involved. I don't know every specific agency that's involved. There are many people involved at the table.
So you can't tell me the feds are involved right now?
I can't say that.
I know you don't know what's on this video yet, but can you commit to saying whether or not SLMPD is going to release this video publicly?
No.
Mitch, have you guys had other videos sent to you already?
It's my understanding that this, I don't know, but it's my understanding that this is the first video. That's what I was told. This is the first video. It's new video that's coming in since Monday. They may have received others. I'm not sure.
Basically, you guys are just asking to be inundated with video from that area.
We want anyone who lives in that area, that possibly lives along I-55, maybe businesses in that area, to check those cameras. No amount of information is too small.
Mitch, I'd like to follow up about response times.
Sure.
Are you standing by that this person kept driving, crossing multiple districts, thus delaying the response? Because what we're seeing from the records is that it took 6 minutes for the ambulance to arrive. I mean, why did it take so long for police to give the all clear so EMS could get there?
David, I know that we've had numerous conversations, or I've had numerous conversations with reporters at Channel 4. When we look at the call notes, there was a 911 call that was active that entire time. The father was on the interstate driving. That call was being sent out. There were multiple locations that were being called out to dispatchers, and by the time that we now know, 4th and Walnut, he came to, that is when District 4 officers were sent. I can't speak to the ambulance, though. You'd have to ask the fire department.
Do you have an idea of that, going from that Loughborough exit to all the way downtown? Was he directed to go there, or do you have a better idea of kind of how that all happened?
I don't. I know based off of reviewing some very preliminary information, he was on the phone with 911. He was giving out locations that he was seeing. It's very possible at that point he was en route to Children's Hospital. Detectives will be talking to him about that to get an idea of maybe what happened. But the 911 call was active the entire time. It appears that when the shooting happened, there were also other numerous calls coming in for shots fired in that area. He immediately told dispatchers that his son had been shot. He was on the interstate. We were getting updated locations. That information was being relayed to officers and was being updated in the call notes. And that's when District 3 officers were notified. When he reached that location that we now know, 4th and Walnut, District 4 officers were notified. I want to, I don't know anything about the ambulance, though. That would be the fire department.
Mitch, can I follow up about, we've asked the mayor's office about, what the relationship between SLMPD, the city, Missouri State Highway Patrol on the interstate. The mayor's office is actually saying that they're down to have that relationship and have that full-time assistance. So I'm kind of curious, where today does the police department stand on it? What are you willing to do to make that happen?
Conversations that I would have to have with other members of the police department, obviously. I think that there are numerous law enforcement agencies in this area that are down right, in manpower and the number of officers that are on the streets. We work very closely with Highway Patrol when it comes to operations. You guys have all seen it. Some of you have reported on it. Some of you have ridden with our Traffic Safety Division in traffic safety enforcement. Numerous operations are done on the interstate. We'll continue to do those operations. But if there's a conversation that the city or the police department wants to have with Highway Patrol about patrolling the interstates, we're certainly open to that conversation. We're not going to turn that away. We're not going to say no, but we also have to recognize that we are not the only police department in this country that is facing a lack of manpower.
We asked this Monday, but should drivers be concerned? I mean, there was a random shooting and hit an innocent boy. I mean, what would you say to any drivers that are on Interstate 55 or on the highways?
I mean, this is this type of violence is not going to be tolerated by us. We want people to feel safe driving on the interstate. We want people to feel safe in the city of St. Louis. To have a 16-year-old boy who just left a hockey game get shot is incredibly rare. You don't hear about cases of innocent bystanders being hit by stray bullets often here in the city of St. Louis. When those acts of violence occur, we will put the entire weight of this police department into finding who did it, to make sure that they are held accountable, and we will work closely with the Circuit Attorney's Office to ensure that justice is served and that person is held to the fullest extent that we can.
Well, police provided a description of what the suspect's vehicle may have looked like. Do investigators have some information about what the color of the vehicle may have been, the make?
I would have to check in with homicide detectives. There were numerous calls for shots fired by people who either live in the area of I-55 in Loughborough or people who were driving on I-55, but I don't know if they have a specific description of the vehicle or a suspect vehicle.
Can you talk about the confidence?
But if I can, it's also nighttime, so we have to take that into account, that some things may look one way, but they're actually different because it is dark out.
Can you talk about just the confidence of the detectives to solve this? I mean, I feel like we're kind of searching for a needle in a haystack here.
I would say that our detectives are some of the best detectives in this region. We have seen that time and time again with some of our latest cases that were rather difficult, but our detectives were able to hold individuals accountable. And so when you see the life that was lost and you see the families outpouring of love for their son and their determination to make sure that his legacy lives on, that should inspire us all. And I have no doubt that our detectives are being re-energized by Colin's last sacrifice. And we are not going to stop until we know that whoever pulled that trigger, or trigger pullers, because we're still looking at that evidence, to make sure that they're held accountable.
I know Dad, retired Lieutenant Colonel with ISP. Do you think his experience in that, I know he's a father first, but any point that when that happened that he might have stepped into that role and maybe try to save his son whatever way with the experience of law enforcement? Do you know anything about that?
I don't. I know that there was, by the grace of God, there was off-duty first responders that were in the vehicle behind the SUV that Colin was riding in. And those first responders, off-duty first responders, they jumped in to help. And that gave Colin one hell of a fighting chance.